Hi guys, today I'm gonna do something called Which One Wednesday. And what this is gonna be, I'm gonna try to do them every Wednesday, depending on the feedback from all of you, whether you wanna do it every other Wednesday or not, is a comparison to two different products. Today we're gonna do the Carolina Herrera Sheer and Satin Lipsticks versus the Gucci Sheer and Satin Lipsticks. So if you're interested in seeing more about that, stay tuned. Today we are going to be starting a new series that I'm going to call Which One Wednesday. I've done these before actually, I just didn't have a name for them. Basically a comparison of two products that have similar characteristics or people have talked about being similar in nature. I did a Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate in the pump versus the Shade and Illuminate in the cushion formula. I've done mascara comparisons, so I'm gonna try to do this every Wednesday. If you guys like it, or if you don't like it, we can mix it up. We can do it every other Wednesday. We'll see how it goes. But it is something that I feel like I enjoy doing. I think you guys get a lot out of it. It gives you a comparison with products, and I'll give you details about those products when I do them. Keep them relatively short so you guys can ingest them relatively quickly. And today we're gonna do the Gucci Sheer and Satin Lipsticks versus the Carolina Herrera Sheer and Satin Lipsticks. I have a number of lipstick reviews, try-ons coming up. I've got the Christian Louboutin coming up soon, and some new Hermes, some of the matte formulas that I didn't have before that I received. So I'll be doing more of those, but this one is gonna be specifically in the comparison. So at the moment, I don't have anything on my face except for my brows. You'll notice I have this sort of redness right here because when my dogs kind of hit me in the face accidentally. So, but other than that, I don't have anything on. So I'll put some foundation on and I'll put down blush and all that good stuff. And then I'll put the lipsticks on so you guys can see. Okay, so I have on a full face of makeup and I did a get ready with me with all the other stuff on my face, and I will put it in the description box below if you're interested. But we are gonna focus today on the lipsticks. We're gonna focus on the Gucci versus the Carolina Herrera. So let's go over a few details first. The Gucci shades, sheer and satin. There are other shades, I'm just doing the sheers and the satins to compare them both. There are 18 sheer shades, say that 5 times fast. 18 sheer shades for $42 a piece. 36 satin shades, again for $42 a piece. The Carolina Herrera, there are 8 shades in the sheer formula and 12 shades in the satin. So it's a much more limited number. I will say the Gucci has been out for quite a bit longer than the Carolina Herrera. The Gucci are not refillable compacts. These are just, quote, regular lipstick bullets. The Carolina Herreras come in a refillable bullet, and then you can put various caps and charms and all kinds of cool things on it. If you're interested in that, I'll put it, the link above when I reviewed the Carolina Herrera collection. So let's talk a little bit about the cases just so you guys can see it. The sheer Gucci's come in this 1940s vintage, I guess they're rosebuds. I think they're rosebuds. It's a very cool packaging. I mean, I really do like it. The satins come in this sheer, in this gold etched Art Deco kind of thing, which is again, gorgeous. I mean, it's Gucci. What were you expecting? Carolina Herrera, as I said, went in a different direction and has refillables. So this piece here is the refillable part. This is just the bullet, and then you buy the cap, which has a little ring on it that you can put charms on. And the caps are all interchangeable, so you can use all different types of caps. I have a black one here in addition to the one that I just showed you that was more of an Art Deco. There's all different patterns. Again, if you view my review of the Carolina Herrera, I show a couple of other patterns in that as well. They are available, I still believe, on Harrods, although some of those shades did sell out for a while and then they came back. The Gucci's are available on Sephora. So with that all being said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the sheer, both the sheers to give you an idea what those look like, and then do the satins. They are not comparable shades necessarily. So the sheer that I'm gonna show you guys in the Gucci is Diana Amber. So this is the sheer in the Gucci. That's the sheer in the Gucci. And then the sheer in the Carolina Herrera is 142. I'll get the name. Very different colors. But this is more about the feel of the lipstick, how they go on, how they wear, and I'll talk to you about that. What I would say is that just by the way that they look, the Carolina Herrera one is more shiny. It has more of a luminous look to it. Both of them, I think, have a luminous finish, but to me, the Carolina Herrera one is a little bit more like light reflecting almost, and it has more of that like shiny, wet look. The Gucci is sheer, but it's just a little bit more matte. I don't want to use the word matte, but it's not as luminous to me when you compare them both. So I have on, at the moment, the Sisley Beige lip liner. I'm gonna take this off and I will go ahead and put these on by themselves. Okay, so I took off the lip liner that I had on a moment ago. That was the Sisley Beige lip liner. We're gonna put these on by themselves, each one, so you can kind of see the difference. Like I said, it's not a comparison of shade by shade. It's a comparison of how they look, how they feel, how they wear, which I will go into detail with and explain. I will zoom in a little bit closer as we do these so you can have a better look. Okay, I'm sure you never wanted to be this close. But hey, this is as close as you can get to somebody right now without wearing a mask, right? I mean, sorry. Okay, so let's start. We're gonna start with the, I think I'm gonna need glasses after this whole thing is over. We're gonna start with the Gucci sheer in Diana Amber. Okay. This is a pinker shade. Feels really good on the lips. It's hydrating. I would say it's definitely sheer, but it has more coverage than some of the sheer lipsticks. It's not like a gloss. You know, when I think of sheer, a lot of times my mind goes to gloss. This is not that. This is a sheer lipstick, but with pigment. And I think it looks really nice. I think this color looks really pretty. I've used it before. I tend to use it with a liner that has a little bit of brown in it to brown it out a little bit, because I want something that's pink, but I don't usually want something that's this pink. But on its own, I think it's very pretty. But if you look at it, and this is true of all the Gucci sheers that I have tried, now those are the shades that I've tried, so there may be others, but it's not luminous, it's not shiny. It doesn't have, to me, a real glossy sheer effect. That's not to say it's not pretty, but if that's what you're looking for, this is probably not the sheer lipstick for you. It feels really nice on. It's very luxurious. It feels comfortable, and it's a great, the sheer lipsticks in the Gucci line I think are great to just, you know, wear around and enjoy. Like it's quick and easy. You carry it in your purse and it's great. Let's do the Carolina Herrera so you can see that. Okay, so this is the Carolina Herrera. The shade is 142. I'll get the name if there's a name. I'm sure there is, and I just don't know what it is. Okay, and that is the Carolina Herrera. As you can see, it is much more of a sheer. It's what I think of when I think of sheer. It's a little bit more glossy, certainly not as pigmented. So it's not nearly as pigmented as the Gucci sheer lipsticks. It does have a great feel to it, very comfortable. I would say it feels more like a gloss on your lips than the Gucci does. Now, it's actually not a gloss. I would say it feels more like a lip tint or a lip, you know, some of those lipsticks that aren't really lipsticks. They're almost like a glossy lip balm almost. That's what this feels like. It feels kind of like a balm because it's slippery a little bit. I really like the way it feels, and it feels really nice, but it's not going to be as impactful as the Gucci because that's going to be more of a lipstick, where this is more of like almost like a lip tint. I have used other shades that are darker shades, and you still get that same kind of sheer lip balmy kind of feel. So of the two, I would say the Gucci's more pigmented. It feels a little bit more like a lipstick than a lip tint or a lip balm. The Carolina Herrera, again, feels a little bit more like a balm, a little bit more slippery, whereas the Gucci feels more like a traditional lipstick, but just sheer. Okay, so let's do now the satins. So the Gucci satin that I'm using is Janet Rust, and the Carolina Herrera is 342. Okay, like I said, different shades, but you can see this is the Gucci, this is the Carolina Herrera. And again, what I would say is the Carolina Herrera has a little bit more luminosity than the Gucci. Not that the Gucci is not luminous, but I think the Carolina Herrera has more, it's like, I'm looking for the best word. It seems to me more glossy. The Carolina Herrera seems more glossy. The Gucci seems more creamy satiny. So let's go ahead and do the Carolina Herrera first, and then we'll finish with the Gucci. Okay, Carolina Herrera on. Gorgeous lipstick, very creamy, very satiny, feels good on the lips. They last a reasonable amount of time for a lipstick. I wouldn't say they're a long-lasting lipstick. They're not a matte lipstick, of course. But they feel good. They don't bleed out a lot. Really nice. And I think they have a shine to them. I think they have a luminosity that I think is really beautiful. And I think they feel really great. Okay, let's move on to the Gucci and then we'll wrap up. So this is the Gucci in Janet Rust. Obviously different shades, like obviously different color shades. The Gucci's have both been more warm tone, reddish toned colors. The Carolina Herrera's were more cool, pinky brown colors. Some of that has to do with the fact that the Carolina Herrera's, there weren't as many. And when I was ordering them, I couldn't order as many because there weren't as many available and they sold out, etc. The other thing is, it's kind of hard to tell when you're ordering online what the shades are going to look like. So, you know, I tried to sort of have different shades, but it's tough to do. But I think regardless of the shades, there are certain things that I would say overall about the lipsticks. I would say that the satins in both are beautiful. I could not tell you that you had to pick the Gucci over the Carolina Herrera or vice versa. I think they're both beautiful. I think the Gucci's are creamier, more of a true satin. I think the Herrera's are a little bit more luminous. They feel a little bit lighter. The Gucci's feel a little bit creamier to me. I also think the Gucci's are more pigmented. In the sheer, definitely. But even in the satin, I think the Gucci is a little bit more pigmented. So I think it really comes down to some price points, where you want to order from. Again, the Carolina Herrera's are right now only available on Harrods. They are a little bit cheaper, but you have to buy the caps to go with them, so then they end up being basically the same amount of money. You can refill them though, and you could have different caps, which is something that you might like. Although I will say that the Gucci art is really beautiful. The etched Art Deco is gorgeous. The 1940s rosebud that kind of looks like a wallpaper is beautiful. But the Carolina Herrera patterns are gorgeous as well, with the little charms, which is a really nice touch. So, I mean, I wish I could say to you, one just totally outperforms the other, but I don't think that's the case. And the whole point of this is to be honest with all of you. So I think it's about, if you're looking for pigment, if you're looking for something really pigmented, go with the Gucci. I think if you're looking for something a little bit more, if you're looking for a sheer and you want a true sheer lipstick, something that's gonna be almost like a lip tint or a lip balm or whatever you wanna call it, I would go with the Carolina Herrera sheers. If you want a pigmented sheer, definitely go with the Gucci. Between the satins, I think it's tougher because I think they're very similar. I they don't feel that different. They're both creamy, they're both luxurious, they're both hydrating. So I think it's really a matter of, one, where you want to buy from, if you want the refillable, and then also the Gucci does have, how many shades? It was 36 shades, including a color that's almost like a blackish hue to it, which I have not had the courage to try, but looks interesting. So I think that's, you know, kind of up to you guys. So anyway, that's the Which One Wednesday for this week. Let me know if you're interested in seeing this type of video continue. I do have some ideas about the types of things I'd like to compare in the coming weeks, the coming Wednesdays. If there are products that you really want to see compared and you want to put suggestions in the description box below, that'd be awesome. That way I can come up with ideas and also get feedback from all of you about what you'd like to see. So again, thank you so much for joining me today. If you could hit subscribe, if you could hit like, it's incredibly helpful, especially for someone who's trying to build a channel, to get people to subscribe and to like their videos. It would mean a lot. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again in another video really soon. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.